So let's talk about these regular season awards. So we're just gonna run through them, and
All right. All right.
MVP. Like, let me know if the voters got it right. So
Right.
MVP,
Right.
yeah, unanimous. Asia Wilson, historic season.
Right.
First time WNBA player scored 1,000 points in the regular season, and I don't think anybody was more efficient than her. When you look at the amount of minutes she played and the points she scored, the stat sheet would be 28 minutes, 24 points, 30 minutes, 26 points. So she's real efficient with the time she has on the court, and she plays hard. The next person closest to her would have been Afisa Collier. Um, Okay, most improved went to Dejanay Carrington of the Connecticut Sun. Thoughts on that?
All right. Well, with the most improved, the only thing, because you had Bridget, you had I
Who
don't
was
want to pronounce her name,
Bridget?
Bridget Carlton,
Oh,
uh,
from
uh,
from the
from
links.
the links, and then you had Kennedy. Is it Kennedy or Kennedy?
No, it's Kennedy Carter.
Okay, Kennedy Carter from the Sky, Chicago Sky.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it was up for grabs, but I would go with Carrington with the Sun because she did she made a drastic improvement. But she was all right last year, but so you can't lose with that. I get it. That's straight. That's a straight go. That's a go.
Look, I'm not mad at Kennedy Carter because she was a top 5 point guard coming off the bench, and once she started starting for the Chicago Sky, was their leading scorer, was their floor general. I
Oh
understand
yeah.
what Angel Reese did in the post, but Kennedy Carter, if you watch them play, she was their best player.
Oh yeah.
Um, so I'm not mad at Kennedy Carter, but I guess when you think about how the team played and the impact. So
Yeah.
the Sun, they were the number 3 seed. The Sky didn't make the playoffs. They went on that losing streak. I know Kennedy was out with COVID for like a few of those games, but they still hit a slump with her. So I'm not mad at DJ Carrington for that award. Like on both offense and defense, she's a dog, and she kind of makes them go. Like she brings the energy for the team. So I like that pick. Defensive Player of the Year, Nafisa Collier.
Yeah. I I
I,
can't. Well, it was either her or Asia.
okay, I
So
was
if
okay.
you gave Asia the MVP, you I mean,
Not
real
Gabe,
talk.
earned,
No,
earned. They
well, that's what I
earned.
mean.
I'm
She
with you.
earned she earned MVP, and honestly, she could have earned
Defensive Player of the
Defensive
Year.
Player of the Year. The only reason I say Nafisa, not with an H, with an S, I got
Mm-hmm.
you.
You got it
Nafisa,
right.
I think they gave it to her because Nafisa guarded different positions: point guard, two guards, three guard, the four, small forward, power forward, and post player. She was able to step out and do and guard all of those. Now Asia, she was able to switch here and there sometime, but uh, that's why Nafisa ended up getting it because she was more versatile when it come to guarding different positions.
Yeah, I'm not mad at it. I was looking at the numbers, and Asia did lead Nafisa in blocks per game and steals per game. But when you look at the impact Nafisa had on the game, watching her in the playoffs in this final series, just like hands everywhere, blocking shots, just long and just having a huge impact on defense. I'm like, okay, I see it. I get it. So I'm not mad at that. I'm with you. Okay. Sixth woman of the year that went to Tiffany Hayes of the Las Vegas Aces. What are your
Yeah.
thoughts on that?
Well, you had Fibich. That's how you pronounce her name, Fibich.
Phoebish.
Phoebich. Phoebich.
Phoebish. Phoebish.
Uh Phoebich. It was close, but Tiffany Hay, either one of them to me, either one of them. So you couldn't lose if you put Phoebich or Hayes. Either one of them. So I agree with that.
Yeah, and it could be. Did Phoebish? I know they put her in the starting lineup in the playoffs. Did she ever start in the regular season? Because that may have impacted.
I think she played. I think she started some games. It depends on who was hurt, who was not available,
Yeah.
things like that. So and that might play the part in it,
But
but
because I think
as far yeah.
Tiffany, I don't know if she ever just started. She was always the sixth woman coming off the bench. If Kennedy Carter had stayed coming off the bench, there was no
Oh yeah.
question. Kennedy giving you
Oh
15 to 20
oh
off the bench easy.
oh
Uh, but I think Hayes and the energy and what she brought for them,
oh.
I'm not mad at that. Yeah, she deserved that. Um, okay. So let's talk about first team and second team. So you have, let me make sure I get this right. Second team, you have Sabrina Ionescu,
All right.
Kalia Copper of the Phoenix
All right.
Mercury,
All right.
Nneka Ogwumike of the Seattle Storm, and
Okay.
Enrique Ogunbowale of the Dallas Wings. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna give you the first team. First team: Asia Wilson, Nafisa
Okay.
Collier,
Okay.
Brianna Stewart,
Okay.
Caitlin Clark,
Okay.
and Alyssa Thomas of the Connecticut Sun.
Okay. I can't disagree with first or second team.
So I was gonna ask if you disagree with any of those, and who would you switch out between first and second?
I mean, I wouldn't. I mean, I think all of them. First team is right to me. Second team is right. A couple of players are interchangeable, but it's still, you know, it's not a drastic like, ooh, how she get on the first team and this one. I don't see that. I don't see that drastic of a pick to put one. So I think
So,
both teams are good.
so who would you say is interchangeable?
None of them really. I mean,
You just said a few of them may be
no.
interchangeable.
Well, I'm just saying if they did, it wouldn't
Hmm.
bother me. I mean, so let me rephrase myself. Whoever the first team players to me deserve to be
Hmm.
on first team. The second team players deserve to be on second team. And it's up to whoever want to debate that. But I think they got it right. I don't think anybody will slight it if that's the case. I just think they got it right. So that's my opinion.
Okay, so I was looking at the first team, and I said, okay, it seems like they pulled a player from the first seed, second seed, third seed, fourth seed. They skipped the fifth seed because that would have been the Phoenix Mercury. And they went on to the Indiana Fever, the sixth seed, and got Caitlin Clark. So I said, okay, if you look at the numbers between Clark and Copper, I think Copper averaged more points per game, but the overall numbers, Caitlin's overall numbers are better. And then you look at the impact of her team and how they were playing the second half of the season, rookie of the year, all of those things. I said I'm not mad at it. Enrique, you can make the case if you're talking about points per game. She was the second most points in the WNBA this season, I believe.
Yeah.
But her team didn't perform well,
Okay.
so that put her at second team. So that was those are the only ones. So I'm gonna give it to Caitlin. I like that. I'm not mad at it. I see why they went the way they went. So the voters, they got it right.
Let me just say this right here, a little bit. I don't know how much time we got, but I just wanted to say, I want to encourage all the new uh, um, watchers or viewers or spectators of the WNBA. I want you to keep that energy for next year. Matter of fact, I'm gonna charge you to keep that same energy for the next 5 years straight. Because once you do it 5 years, you're gonna continue to do it. It's great ball. The refs they need to get a little better, but it's great entertainment. They're gonna get better at the entertainment part of the WNBA, but the play has always been there. So, hey, continue to support them. That's all I'm, just saying.
Okay. Rookie of the year. That went to Caitlin Clark. How you feel
Okay.
about that?
I feel that it was the right decision, and it was a unanimous decision to me. Um, Angel got hurt, so and then Caitlin, they went from bottom of the barrel to I ain't gonna say the top of the barrel, but they made it to the playoff. So, and then she was on a tear after the Olympic break. So
Mm-hmm.
that means that she was doing her homework. She went in the lab, She also got with her other teammates and worked with them, and they worked with each other. Not she worked with them, but they worked with each other, and then they got on the right page. So it was a unanimous decision to me. Caitlin, yeah.
Okay, I will say first half of the season it was neck and neck.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
Second half, Caitlin started to separate herself. So yes, I agree. She should have won Rookie of the Year because of how her team was playing the second half of the season and entering the playoffs. Like you said, they were at the bottom of the rankings and they finished sixth. So it wasn't like, oh, they barely made it in or they weren't the 7th seed. They were the 6th seed. And the whole team was playing well. Kelsey Mitchell was playing some great ball where you could talk about most improved, but I said I didn't consider her for most improved because she didn't play well to me the first half of the season. The second half, she really found her groove, and she and Caitlin were feeding off of each other really well. They had that 1-2 punch, and then they had a big woman in Aaliyah Boston who could hold it down in the post. But Kelsey and Caitlin, they really started to click the second half of the season. But I will say this. I agree with you that during the Olympic break, I feel like she was in the gym, in the weight room, in the gym, putting up shots. She was able to rest, get her legs back underneath her, because you know the rookies don't have really a chance to rest between finishing up college and then getting ready for training camp for the pros. And that's why I stand on the fact that I don't feel like she should have made the Olympic team. I don't feel like she was a person that got snubbed. I feel like it was other players like Arike. I feel like Dewana Bonner, Neko Ogumake. I feel like those three got snubbed over Caitlin because you're talking about veterans. Talk about the numbers that Arike put up. Like I said, she was the second in scoring in the league.
Yeah.
DB, hold on. DB, a 15-year veteran, top 5 all-time scoring list.
You know, she's from
Birmingham,
the crib.
205.
She's from the crib. She's from Birmingham.
Yeah, I know. So of course I wanted DB to make it. And then you look at Nelka, former #1 pick, and what she's been doing with the Storm. So you look at those players, and that's why I was like, man, people get so caught up in popularity over who's most deserving. So they're talking about, oh, they missed the opportunity to grow the game. To me, the Olympics isn't necessarily about growing the game. It's about taking the best team over there to win and taking the players who deserve it the most to represent their country to play.
Well, let me hit you with this too.
Okay.
Well, it was some on there that, to me, aged out. And
that could have been left off. Yeah.
And those players you just named, DB, Dewana Bonner, Fairfield Finest, Fairfield, Alabama Finest. Who else you name?
Nelka Gumake.
Oh my goodness. She would have been cooking. She would have had a chef hat on.
And then Arike. So Arike will be around. So here's my thing. Arike will be around 4 years from now. I don't know if DB and NECA will still be playing unless they pull a Tarazi where they trying to milk it. They still playing into their early 40s. I don't know. And I said that was a missed opportunity.
What's she doing?
She milked it, baby. She look. Hey, look. She said, y'all gonna give me. She got that court named after her. She got all her flowers. And you know what? I respect it because a lot of our legends and our greats haven't been honored and received their flowers while they were still playing. Yeah. Maya Moore didn't get her flowers. You know, they honored her. The Lynx did retire her jersey and everything, but she didn't get that farewell tour. Candace Parker didn't get it because she announced her retirement before the season started. So it's a lot of players that didn't get it. So I ain't mad at DT.
Well, those two, I can't get mad because they didn't get it because they retired abruptly.
Well, yeah.
You know, it wasn't like this my last tour, you know, my last season where they were able to get, you know, the flower. They just said, "Hey, I'm done."
Well, and, Maya ain't even retired.
Maya didn't even say nothing.
I thought everybody believed she was coming back. I thought she was gonna pull a Michael Jordan, a MJ. She hit up with
I got my dude out.
Got her man and went on, baby.
We finna build a family. We finna just do what we do, how we do it, and I'm good. You know.
Everybody was hurt by that. Like, oh man, they mad at her husband. Like, man, you robbed us.
Hey man, you should stay, man. Golly, man, you robbed us from at least 8 more years of at least eight, at least eight, but
Yeah,
8 to 12 more years of greatness.
yeah, because I feel like if she was still playing now, she'd be playing at an elite level. And I mean, that was her choice. Like she could have got him out and came back. So I don't know, you
Man,
know.
just hey, Britt, just imagine. You got Simone Augustus, you got Sylvia Fowles, you got all of them. Oh man, you got all of them players from back. Man, just imagine if they had a protagonist and an antagonist
Back
back
then.
then to shine the light on the WNBA. Man, what? I'm talking
Okay.
about. Oh,
Okay, you were a little ahead of me. So the point
my bad, my
we were
bad, my bad.
making, the point I was making was if Caitlyn had been playing in the Olympics, I don't feel like we would have got the same Caitlyn the second half of the season because
Nah,
she
you
would have
would.
been tired because a lot of those players weren't the same when they came back. Jewel Lloyd, she struggled during the Olympics and she
Yeah,
struggled when she came back. We talk about players, Brittany Griner coming back off of injury.
yeah,
That's a player that probably you probably could have left off because I said she was injured and I don't know if she was ready to play. She could have been left off. Uh, of course, DT could have been left off, but this was her last one. So, Chelsea Gray could have been left off because I don't feel like she was fully recovered from her injury. Because even when she got back with the Aces, she still wasn't her full self. Um, so yeah, but
everything you said, I co-sign. I co-sign
okay,
everything you just said is co-sign. Real talk.
yeah.
Yeah.
So again. Caitlyn having that break helped her. And she deserved Rookie of the Year.